Now you all should be able to hear us. Let me know if you should be able to hear us now.
Okay, good. She's
Now you all should be able to hear us. Well, look at there. All right. Yes. We we have liftoff. Technology. You gotta love it.
gotta love it.
But I will say it's not technology this time. It's the user error. I don't want to lie. It was a user error.
It's okay.
It's
It's okay.
you got all of these boards and lights and stuff, and unfortunately, I didn't click the right thing. So
Well, you
I
fixed
can't.
it, so we're fine.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so first, here's a rule right now in relationship: forgiveness. Forgiveness.
Number one rule.
When you mess up, just you fess up because you mess up, and then forgiveness works.
That's right.
See, that's
Every
how
time.
that's how it works. If you fess up till you mess up, then forgiveness can work. All right, that's a
good.
great way to start the show.
Yes, it is.
And I didn't even script that. How about that? I didn't even script that. How about that? Listen. So tonight, it's from the single side, women's version. Single side, women's version. I want to hear from women. So I want you to share this with your women, your friends, and I want men. I want men to listen. I don't know if we do that well.
Well, you do a phenomenal job
Thank
at
you,
listening,
girl.
baby.
Thank you. I tried. That's because I want to listen.
Have to want to listen.
I want to listen. So I want y'all to share. I want you to share this because we got a special guest on tonight. Tonight we have Overseer Diana Brandon.
Yay.
She is the adjutant apostolic for my brother Bishop Jelani Faraja Kafela out of the Bridge Network Covenant Fellowship of Churches out of California. She's under that, and Lady Kathy, the first lady there. We want to honor them. So it's going to be good on tonight. It's going to be good. I asked her specifically because, and you're a career woman. You have children. She's a career woman. She has children. She's single, but you're married. So I wanted to do a contrast between the two, and I want people to really be able to be involved. And I think it's going to be really good. So without any further ado, because I'm ready to get right into this, ladies and gentlemen, I want you all to receive this precious woman of God. She is a career-minded woman. Y'all gonna hear all about her because she's gonna tell her story, and then I'm just gonna moderate. And I'm just gonna let the women just take over. But I want you all to receive this precious gift. She is Overseer Diana Brandon. Overseer, I want you to come on in and join us. How you doing? It's good to see you.
Well. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Glad
that you are able to be with us. Glad that you're able to be with us. So I want you to, this is what we're going to do. I've got to make sure that I can, I'm going to fix that. I'm going to fix that so that way we can hear her and not hear her in delay. But Overseer, this is what I want you to do. I want you just for these first few minutes, because I want them to really understand you're not just an overseer. You're not just an adjutant. You're not just a pastor, but you're a career woman. And I want you to just take these first 5 minutes and just give the people an overview of who exactly is Overseer Diana Brandon.
Oh, wow. That's a big one. Well, as you said, I am, I'm a mother, daughter, and all that stuff. I do have a career in modeling and acting, and that is my passion. I love to use modeling and acting to help others build self-confidence. I think that that's a really important factor. Sometimes, a lot of times, women, as they get older, they need to reinvent themselves, and it's an awesome way to reinvent themselves so that they can be, so they can move in life instead of being 50 acting like you're 20. No offense to anybody, But that's one of my goals. And I dealt with low self-esteem. Matter of fact, I wrote a book called The Secret to Being Transparent because I had low self-esteem until I was 42 years old. And at 42, I realized that my fingerprint belonged to me. And so now I travel all over the world talking about the fingerprint. And that if you do not maximize your potential, if you don't be the very best that you can possibly be, then the world will miss out on the gift called you. And so at 50 now, I realize that my fingerprint belongs to me and no one can beat me being who I am. And so the greatest gift that I have to offer is to inspire others to let them know that you have to be the authentic you. And let your smile be your weapon with no apologies. And I tell everyone, always smile because your smile is your greatest weapon. And I do this for men, for women. I'm an encourager of people. I was mentored by men all my life. And so that's just my heart. So it's not a lot to me. I'm a very simple person, laid back, non-bougie. So I'll say that right now, non-bougie, but just have a heart of gold. And I love people. I love loving people because I know what it feels like to be picked on, to be talked about, and things of that nature. And so I'm super honored to be here this evening and to share whatever that I can. So that's really just about it. I'm just a down-to-earth person, and one day working on having my own business. Right now, I work with an awesome company.
Non-buoy.
I work very hard. I work 7 days a week.
Well, let's kind of get into this on tonight. You can turn it down, baby. So let's get into that. I gotta fix my sound on my end because I'm not getting the feed that I want. So I gotta fix that. So I'm gonna fix that in a second. But I still can navigate. You all can still hear us. We're just trying to hear ourselves, and we want to hear Overseer. But let's get right into this. Let's just get right into this. All right. So woman's perspective. Does an older woman, is it really her ambition to date, marry, or even play around with a younger man? Is that the thing? You know, what is that about? Now, my wife ain't playing with nobody. So let me make that very clear. So we don't get no blurred lines here.
No blurred.
You know, there's no commingling.
None
Thank you,
whatsoever.
Jesus. There's no commingling.
No,
All right. This is monogamy here. But just from the perspective as women, what is that? What is that the thing? Is that what's happening here? So First Lady, I want you to talk from a married woman looking from the outside, inside out. And then Overseer, I want you to talk as a single woman in ministry, in corporate America, talk from the two sides. And then help these women who may be stuck being a cougar when they don't need to be.
So I believe this cougar thing. I believe that the older women that are looking for younger men, personally, I think it's a crisis, a midlife crisis, because I, for the life of me, can't understand why an older woman, at least the women now, you know, are looking to date younger men because clearly, well, from my perspective, I want somebody that's mature. I don't want anybody that I have to raise, that I have to, you know, teach how to grow up or teach how to be a man or teach how, you know, you should treat a woman. I want a mature man. I don't want to have to take care of him, and I don't have time to play around. And I think what's happened now is women have gotten to a point where I've heard so many different stories where, they say, well, I'm over it. There are no good men out there. So I'm going to do my thing, and whatever that thing is, that's what they're doing. And dating younger men is one of them. I don't quite understand it because to me, time is of the essence and time is moving by very quickly. So if I was on the other side, I don't have time to be playing around. I want to find me someone, a God-fearing man for one, someone that's stable, someone that's mature. And that may sound crazy, but there are some older men out there that are very immature. And I've seen some.
So stop right there. Stop right there. Obviously, jump in right there on the theory about older men who act immature.
That's a good one. For whatever reason, that's probably like a great thing that's happening right now. Men that are even your same age or even older, they're resulting back for some reason instead of riding the fact that they're supposed to be mature. And I honestly, God, don't know what that is. And as Lady Thomas was just saying, Lady Smith was saying, I'm sorry, Lady Smith was just saying, even about women doing the whole cougar thing. I personally was told that they don't want to deal with the older man, all of his isms and schisms, and all the things that he's dealing with because he is going through a midlife crisis because he's getting older and things don't work the same. And so it's just the darndest thing when it comes to me. That's just crazy. And I'm like you, Lady Smith, I wouldn't want to be with anyone younger than me because I don't have time. I'd want to be with someone that is older and or the same age as me, kinda, that would have it together. It's just not like that. And so I honestly don't understand what's going on. I don't know if it's lack of mentorship is one of the things that I personally, I've actually been looking at this and trying to figure out what is wrong with men of my age and a little bit older. And I would honestly say is lack of mentorship. That's probably the number one thing.
So does it matter? Does it matter that he's younger or older? Does it even matter?
So I hear Overseer Diana, and I understand, what she's saying, that she wants to be with someone that's the same age. But I think now with women dating younger men, to me, it's either, okay, well, I don't want to, date an older man and he's acting like a 25-year-old. So it's okay. Right. Do I just go ahead and date the 25-year-old, or do I deal with this 50-year-old man that's acting like he's 25? So,
but does it come with a stigma if you're 48 and he's 25? Because I mean, because it's immediately, society will immediately
they will
attack you.
Yes.
Because you this older woman, you got this boy fresh out the crib, the conversation, how they gonna play it, right? Yes. You didn't snatch this boy off his mother's breast, and that's the stuff that comes along with this. But here's what's funny about society. See, if a woman do it, it look bad. Right. If a man do it, it's totally like different. You the man, because you done got this chick, and it's funny how society is. So I'm trying to look at this narrative and say, all right, well, if you do it, is it really bad?
I don't think so, because at the same time, I've seen some very mature males that.
But he ain't gonna be 25. He ain't gonna be 25.
Well, no.
He ain't gonna be 25. So he is not gonna be 25 dating some 50-year-old career woman who has a multi-million-dollar business. This is not Stella want to get a groove back. I'm telling you that right now. So this is not that. I'm telling you that right now. This is not that. So let me preface. Hold on a minute. Let me preface by saying, we're not making movies. We live in realities here. All right. We're not trying to make a movie. What we're not gonna do is pretend that cause he doing things. I gotta be PG.
Yes, please.
Gotta be PG.
Yes, please.
Just because he doing things. Let me tell you something. 2 hours, 1 hour, 15 minutes will never give you a lifetime of happiness.
That's true, but you also still have to take into consideration where the woman is too. She may be 50, but she may not be there all the way mentally too. So that's something that, although
Praise the
she
Lord.
should,
Thank you, Jesus.
so that's something that you have to take into consideration as well. And yeah, 25, 50, but I have seen some very mature, I would say maybe 25 because of the environment that I work in. Let me start there. So some are forced to grow up, a lot quicker than others. So I have seen some maybe 25, 30-year-olds that act way better and are much more responsible and respectful to women than a lot of these older men that are out here now. So I would say if I were on the other side and I had to choose, if that's what I was presented with, I'm not going to say that, I may not, that I wouldn't consider it.
So obviously, jump in.
Well, I've had younger men approach me. I get that a lot. And that's not something that I can't. I just don't see that. I can't see dating someone that's like my son. That's just not me. I want someone to have some type of history with themselves, and it doesn't feel like I'm helping someone with their training. I don't care how mature he is. I think that a little bit of age does help, but I would want it to be with someone that their status was maybe a little bit different, because I sometimes that's even the case. I just can't see dating someone that's younger than me and they're saying, "Oh, I've never been here before," but then let me stop, because I know men that are 50 that's never gone anywhere either. So yeah, it's a catch-22. I'm telling you, mentorship is a big deal. You have men that don't even have a bank account. They don't have a checking account. They don't have a credit card.
So how do we, if since you all are both very mature women, okay, and this is for women that are watching that are single, because my spiritual daughter's on, God bless her, and there's some other women that are on. So overseer, you're going to be the spokesperson for mature women of America tonight.
Oh, bless them.
What's the attraction? What, young, old, whatever it is, I don't care what it. What is this moat that these men can't seem to meet your expectation? What is that? And let me also say this, because my spiritual daughter's on, and there's some other women that I know, and I have said this many, many times. To be attractive, my sister is one. She's another one. I know I have a whole slew of women that are attractive, are successful. They're not desperate. They love God. But they couldn't find a man if he dropped through their ceiling, because they just don't meet the expectation. So tonight, help these men, help them, because y'all may need to tell them. Just tell them, so that way. And I'm a play this back. I'm gonna pay and have this broadcast all across America, so that way they can get the answer, because what they are doing right now ain't it.
Yeah,
it ain't it.
When I say, and if you don't mind me, Bishop, just saying this, I don't mean to barge in, but honestly, for whatever reason, men are feeling like, and like I said, I have a lot of male friends, but men are feeling like women are dogging them out, and women are speaking ill of them. And sometimes it could be because of how a woman is felt, because of how she was treated. and she hasn't run into anything that is different from how she has been treated. And so a lot of men, and then when they get together, instead of them uplifting one another and saying, no, all women don't think this way, you know, they just have some type of stigma, and men are not understanding how to approach a woman, how to love a woman. They're not understanding how to love a woman. It's almost like that ocean thing. You know, you start off with a small stream, and as the relationship matures, you know, then it goes into something else. You have men that are narcissists. They have all these psychological issues from family problems and all these type of things that has them cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And instead of saying there's nothing wrong with me, find out what's wrong with you. Find out what's broken on the inside of you so that I'm not walking on your broken pieces. And if we have a love, like I said, it starts off as a small river stream, and we're just conversing and talking. And then it goes into this ocean thing where it matures and becomes great. This is where you have to learn how to surf in a relationship. And if you don't learn how to surf in a relationship, then you're going to burn and crash every time. Think of yourself like a surfer. You got to know when to lay on your belly. You got to know when to get low. You have to know when to be aggressive. Which means you have to know how to compromise. And when I look at it,
that's too much.
Sorry.
Lord, just surfing and getting low. Lord, that's all right. So I like what I was joking, but I like what you're saying. But I want to go back. Let's go back to that surfing part.
Okay.
Walk that out a little bit. What do you mean? I know it's philosophical, but let's be practical, because I want to help these brothers. What do you mean by surfing?
Well, it first starts, you know, when you go to a creek and the creeks are going over the little rocks and all that kind of stuff. That's where your relationship starts. It starts really smooth and it's just quiet. And then as it matures and it goes into that ocean, you know what I'm saying? And then this little streams of water goes into a bigger lake where you get to know people's family members and things like that. That's when things start moving like the ocean. And if we're going to surf together, then we have to learn how to compromise. You know, that's what I mean.
Wait a minute, because see, there be the problem right there. That word right there. That's the word. Now, I need those of you that are in the chat, because I want to do a survey right here, right now. Because see, up until a little while, that when gray hadn't set in and my cognitive started working. You see, when you're young, it ain't all working. It ain't but some parts. It ain't but a few parts working. When you get older, everything like the right and the left starts working. You said compromise.
Right. There's a particular type of compromise that I mean.
But you said a particular type, but up until a little while ago, I heard that compromise was a bad thing. No. True or false? True or false?
That's how women. I believe that's how women.
See, all right, y'all in the chat, y'all say something, because compromise is a dirty word. But I've learned if you don't compromise, then there is no rise to relationship. Mm-hmm. That's the way I look at it.
That's true. And I've heard so many women in the workplace and so many other places, because they've been, with men trying to give them chances and their expectations are not met. They feel like there's really nobody out there. Yeah. So it's basically my way or the highway. And so that's not going to work. You're going to be by yourself for a very long time. You have to be willing to compromise and to be vulnerable. No matter how many bad relationships and how many bad experiences you've had, that's something that has to happen. Or it's always going to be a surface type relationship. It's going to get to a certain point and then it's going to stop.
So Overseer, you were using the analogy of the smaller stream leading to something bigger.
Right.
So keep going in that vein.
And so what I understand is that in this relationship, as it's growing, and some things you have those waves, and knowing how to maneuver on the wave. You got your board called love, you know. And so do you start off on your belly on this ocean? Because some things you got to lay low for. And then sometimes you got to crouch down, you know, and then sometimes you got to stand up and be aggressive and actually take the wave and allow your body to learn the language of the love that's happening. So you have to know what you're a part of and how you're loving that other person, because as Bishop Kafela has always taught me, who you love determines how you have to love them.
Wow.
And so
That's good.
Wow.
you have to be wise in how, and it really takes a lot. I was trying myself to be in a relationship, and I'm very self-centered, very, God bless me. And and
Well, tell us what you really feel.
yeah, and so I mean, and I do have my own everything, and the arrogance of, I heard myself say something, and I said, I don't need you, I want you, you know.
Wow.
And so I don't need you to pay my bills. I want to have someone that I can spend the next 30 years with, someone I can die with, but I don't need all the foolishness that goes with it. We should be able to determine certain things, and it shouldn't take all day.
So let me chime in here, because somebody said something very interesting here. So my sister's on, and she said this: as a single woman, I realized that there is a need for compromise.
Yes.
In order for everyone's need is being met. Now that's from a single woman. So
Yes.
obviously somebody has been saying the wrong thing, because relationship cannot work, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to me careful. Relationship can't work unless there's compromise.
That's right.
I'm sorry to tell you, you gotta love it enough to find value to say you can have it your way today.
But that's not what society is teaching us. That's not.
Well, whoever says society
Well,
got a
we
degree.
know that. Well,
Society
that's
ain't
true.
got no degrees.
I know, but that's the way of the culture. That's the
Society
way
just
things
as
are
dumb as it
now.
wanna be. Just
There's a song that even says that. It says, it's, you know, it's a vulgar song, but it's like, forget him and go on and stack your paper.
Yeah.
You know? So society
that's their thinking now. That's their
Man.
thinking. That's their thinking.
Mhm.
Yeah, you don't need a man. Stack your paper and just go on about your business. But that's not real.
You can't make love to that paper. You can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. You can't make love paper. You can't make love paper. You can buy a lot of stuff.
And I've been by myself for a very long time. I have not been in a relationship for years, and I do mean.
Wait a minute.
double
Wait.
years.
Hold it. Now, come
And-
on. Now, Diana. Now, come
Yes.
on. Okay. All right. So again, let me do a survey. All right. Everybody just heard that this woman right here said she ain't been in a relationship in years, like years. Do y'all believe that? Y'all believe
No,
that?
It's the honest. It's the
Y'all
honest.
believe that? Come on, y'all type. If you are viewing this broadcast and you just heard this woman say that she's not been in a relationship for years, then I need y'all give me some thumbs up if you believe that she come on, really? I mean, come on, Diana, really? You haven't been in a relationship for years.
Yes, and I just told you just recently. I called myself trying to date, but it just
you did.
wasn't, it just wasn't a, you know, the reason why I was by myself for so many years is because I wasn't willing to compromise. I wasn't willing to, because, you know, I didn't, you know, I don't know.
Ooh,
it's just, and I wasn't finding anyone. The people that were approaching me, don't approach me with "baby, you fine." That's the number one. If I get hit by a car, am I still gonna be fine? If I get a scar, will you still love me the way you?
Wow. Wow.
I don't need my outer beauty to turn you on. I need my inner beauty to turn you on.
Mhm.
Well, but
I tell people, I've said it before, to know me is to love me. And so when you know me, and you know, and I don't mean to be Bible, but he said he knew her. So I need to know me. You know, don't know my physical.
Mhm.
know me on the inside, because the inside is so much better than the outside.
Okay, stop right there. So I'm gonna ask you this question. I'm gonna ask you this question, and I'm asking my wife when she was single many eons ago. That was a long time ago, girl. A long time ago. A long time ago.
Thank you, Jesus.
Mhm. You was a single woman looking for a man, and this man came along,
You better preach.
caught your eye, maneuvered on your heart, and made your mind say that he could possibly be the one, but I got to find out who he really is. Now, the question is, what is the do's and don'ts? I'm asking you back then, Diana, I'm asking you right now, I'm asking every woman in this chat. What is the do's and don'ts about how to approach you?
Okay.
Now, let's get down to the nitty gritty.
So we can answer that. But what I want to say is, when I first met Bishop, I wasn't looking for anyone. I was not. And he caught my attention. My focus
Did
was
you hear that? I caught her attention.
Yes, he did. My focus
Did
was
you hear
someplace
that?
else. So
I
I
caught her
was
attention. She wasn't looking. But I happened to walk by, and now her attention wanted attention. You see that?
yes. So
Okay.
my focus was someplace else, and I don't want to go too far off. And I think now I've seen, how can I put this? A lot of women that are so anxious to be in a relationship, they're looking. But I do believe when it depends on where your focus is, because like I said, when I met Bishop, you know, if he said something, it was fine. If he did not, that was cool too, which I'm glad he did. But that was not my focus, to be in a relationship. Of course I wanted one, but that was not at the forefront of my mind at that time. I was a career woman. I had other things, so that wasn't my sole, that wasn't the only thing that I was thinking about. And I think that does help. But I've come across a lot of women now, their clock is ticking, and they feel like, I just gotta find, I just want to be with someone. And the Bible does say, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. Not saying that you have to go chasing him, but you have to put yourself in the right environments to attract a certain type of man too. So I just had to put that out.
So my sister said she hate being a pro. Yo, ma.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I'll tell you something. I have no idea why a man thinks that merits a response. If he says, yo, ma.
Not one that he wants.
Really? I mean, why on earth would he do? So, you weren't looking, all right? So, but what, Diana, what is, in your respect, what is the right and the wrong way? How does a man, because most men who see attractive women, they like, oh, she already taken. Ain't even no need me making no attempt to talk to her because I already know she taken. So, but you're not. So what is
I think that men need to learn how to be creative. If you go back to the old days, and I'm a lover of the old days when it comes to how men were back then. They were creative. And if they found out that a woman was married, they'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, but tell your husband I said hi. They would say something funny like that. But men are they got, like I said, they just have so many isms. And you approaching a woman to my baby, baby, who are you talking to? That's what I've done in the whole ma thing. I said, baby, I'm not your mama. Did you need me to call her? I've said those type of things because I'm so offended.
Wait, did you say, I ain't your mama? Do you need me to call?
I'm a comedian. I'm an actress. I'm a comedian. So I'm going to play with him. Funny. I don't know if he's trying to get a role or not. But I'm like, do you need me to call you? It's called improv. Do you need me to call your mama?
Oh my God.
And then you have the men with the Mercedes. And I've been to lunch with corporate, and a man with a Mercedes been like, oh my gosh, I just need your number.
Oh my.
Exactly.
And then they say, Di, did you see the kind of car? First of all, I'm not into cars.
Wow.
That is
So that'd be a problem because if you ain't in the cars, yeah.
I mean, does it drive? Is it gonna break down? Can it get to where we're going? All right, we good. Do you have gas to put in the car? So that I've never been a materialistic person. I grew up with a lot of stuff. I've traveled all over the world. I did all that. So that doesn't impress me. What impresses me is your heart. What impresses me is whether or not you're genuine.
So how does he
My husband was a mechanic.
You said you're impressed by the heart. He can't take his heart out and say,
you can hear somebody's heart.
How does he do that?
But you can hear someone's heart. And like Bishop, you and Lady Smith, when I met you all, I was just like, oh my God, you guys made me want to be in love. I said, well, I ain't been with nobody a long time. I said, they so loving. You was all hugging on her like y'all was at the movies. I said, I want somebody to hug me like I'm at the movies. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't met anyone that made me think that marriage was a good thing. I stopped seeing people's marriage and said, I'm good.
Wow.
I've seen how men talk to women that they were married to. And I said, see, I'm going to go to jail. I'm for sure going to go to jail on that one. Because I'm not going to let anyone touch me. I'm not going to let anyone disrespect me. Those things are not going to happen. My father taught me, he says, never dishonor a man. Never disrespect a man. He said, and if you want to leave the home, you leave. You don't put the man out. You're the one who want to leave. And when I did that twice. It's my second. I was my husband. He passed away. My last husband passed away. But I did not leave. I did not put him out. I left with the bare minimum and started over again.
Wow.
Because I wanted to move. In both relationships I was in, both my husbands got everything because I had to move. And now that I have found out who I am, low self-confidence will have you get with anybody. You're looking for love. So when you have no confidence about who you are and you're just in search of sweet words, you know what I'm saying? And the sweet words is what give you cavities.
That's good.
Wow. But
now that I have found out who I am and I'm solid in my personality, I'm okay with who I am. I'm not trying to be anything else. Now I have an understanding, and you can't trick me with sweet words or the reflection of a treasure box.
Wow. So
that's good.
Wow. So you've been down the road of marriage 2 times. I got a chance to meet your last husband and precious man of God. But you've been down that road twice. Do you desire to go back down that road?
Recently I did decide to do that because I'm like, okay, I'm meeting a lot of my goals and I'm getting the things that I want. And I'm like, and like I said, in double digits, haven't been in a relationship where I'm holding hands or going to the movies or anything like that. And of course, as you know, my husband and I, we were best friends, and we talked every single day, but, it just is what it is. But I do have a desire to be with someone. I have a desire to have a solid relationship. But it has to mean something. And I think that, I don't need a man that has a whole bunch of money. That's not me. I'm not a big shopper. I'm not a big spender. A simple person with a good heart is what I'm looking for.
Wow.
Just love. If you can just love me for me, then I'm good, because I'm going to treat you like a king.
So even though
you and all of that.
So even though, there's this whole theory, now I feel like if you really have a Saks Fifth Avenue type of taste, if you have a Neiman Marcus type of taste, you have a standard. You do have a standard, and there is compromise. But what's going too low in the
99-cent store, sir? Walmart 99-cent store.
And I love Bobby. I love Bobby. Bobby will go to 99-cent store and go shopping and be like, "Baby, look what I got you," and I'd be like,
Oh,
Bobby,
oh,
that ain't.
oh.
Now I wasn't telling you to spend $10.
Wait a minute.
But $100 would have been good. He said, "Look what I got for $100."
Big Lots. Come on, baby. We getting ready to turn this mother out.
And I'm a dinner person, so you cannot take me. You can't take me to Burger King.
No,
So I can have it my way.
now you can have it your way at Burger King.
But I never, no. And I'm a foodie, so I love restaurant. My kids are the same way. My mom says, "Mommy, this guy said he gonna take me to a bomb restaurant." She came home, she says, "Mama, I'm thinking we're going to PF Chang's." She named the restaurant because I dated my daughters to show them that this is the kind of stuff that these are good restaurants. This is just, I'm gonna run by somewhere and get something. She said, "Mama, he took me to Sizzler." I said, "Baby." She said, "No." She said, "Not even Olive Garden."
Yikes.
So
I think I have to go. I want to go back because I thought that was key to what you said. You dated your daughters. And I think if that would take place more often, that our women would have a different perspective of relationship, than they have now. And whenever they get older, because they know what, basically they have standards and know what
guys. I mean, I ain't dating my sons, but I give them a very strong presentation of what is right and wrong about being with a wife or being with a girl, because they see me openly love you. Actually, the whole world sees me openly love my wife, and I'm unapologetic. And I think, you said it. I've talked to other people from the Bridge Network. I'm very open, and I've said that I'm going to love you and make it uncomfortable for other people, because I'm never going to take down. I'm not taking down. Just because you've never seen it, don't mean I have to be reserved to display it.
That's right.
I'm not going to change just because you haven't experienced it. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that's right.
But I'm concerned that a lot of these guys have this perception that they gotta have a Benz, they gotta have a big house, they gotta make a lot of money, and you're saying that's not the case.
No, if I made more money than my husband, and that's happened before, that's okay with me. As long as you're doing your part, that's all that matters.
So you're saying that if you make it over 100,000, which you are, and he's making 50, but as long as his 50 is consistent,
right,
okay, and as long as he ain't withholding his 50,
right,
live off your 100K plus, it's
right.
Okay.
Right.
So now we're finding out, because I'm gonna tell you something. Men have a totally different theory to this. They really feel like I gotta have all of this plus, and you're saying no, that's not the case. So I want another woman. I was my sister on. Okay, yes or no? If you're making more money than him, is that a deal breaker? As a matter of fact, let's cross over and let's hit that. What is your deal breaker? What is the thing that you say, no, that I can't tolerate, that I can't adapt to, that I can't compromise to? What is the deal breaker for Diana Brain?
My deal breaker is when you don't understand the spirit of communication. Your communication can't be one-sided.
All right, define that.
If sometimes you'll have a man, and you can always tell when a man has never been heard, because they get overly aggressive with how they're talking.
Wow.
And you could be talking at an even tone, like, Why are you so upset? I'm not upset. I'm just expressing myself. But why are you expressing yourself so aggressively? Did someone not allow you to express yourself?
Wow.
Because I want to hear you. I just can't hear you with that aggressive because I'm prone to tone. And your tone is affecting my spirit, which means I turn you off.
Mm.
But if you was trying to get with me and you trying to kiss on me, see your tone is low. You act like that. It's like Porsche puppy time. Act like that. I'm just being honest. Because I was the bad woman in my marriage where I was the rah, rah, rah. And I had to learn,
Not you.
that's why the Lord had me by myself for a long time so I could learn some sense. You can't be with a man till you learn how to talk to the king. See, I don't need to talk to the fool in you. I need to talk to the king in you.
Mm-hmm.
When I talk to the king in you, then you're going to treat me like a queen.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was talking to my bishop and I wanted to write this book called My Lover and My Lord. Some women don't understand if you treat a man like a Lord, if you treat him like he was created in his image,
Wow.
the things that you can get out of that man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's ironic that you would mention him because he's on and he said just bless somebody tonight. Just bless somebody tonight. You're saying a lot of things and Bishop, appreciate you being on tonight. You're saying a lot of things and I really pray that people are listening to what you're saying, in particular these single women. I pray that they're listening because you talked about compromise, which was a dirty word, but now we realize compromise is not dirty, but you just have to have a standard, a level of the compromise. You talked about making more money than a man, which was also a dirty subject, because he got to make this certain amount of money. Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. So now we're finding out it ain't the money. We're now finding out it's the approach, how he approaches. It has to be a certain way. We're finding that out. We're finding out his communication has to be a certain way.
Yes.
So now I think just from what we've heard so far, I pray that every man recognizes that by the time we get to, as we're peeling off these layers, I think the one thing that we're starting to find out is, hey, your focus is off.
Yes.
Your focus is off because I got a single woman right here.
Mm-hmm.
Here she is right here. This is a single woman right here.
Mm-hmm.
She's successful. She makes good money, loves God, leader in the church, serves her bishop, respected. And she's telling you, it ain't about money. It ain't an age thing. I'm just saying, you need to know how to talk to me. You need to understand what you need to bring to the table, and you need to slow walk it. Don't try to kiss on me all that like that, and let's just slow walk this. So I pray that somebody's listening, because I don't have no snaggletooth beady head woman on here who trying to say something. Yeah, I got somebody here who's available right now, and they're saying it ain't what you think. And then I have my wife who was once single, and even when you were single, you're saying no, that wasn't it at all. So, and that was 20 years ago.
So first of all, it depends on where the woman is too, and I agree with everything that Overseer Brandon was saying. The money didn't matter, because whenever you reach a certain point where you can do things yourself, it's the other things that really matter that you're looking for, i.e. your time. Because I remember in the initial stages of our relationship, Bishop would just buy, every time you turn around, he would be buying me Louis Vuitton. He would buy me bags. No, I'm not shushing. And I would open the cabinets, open the drawers, and I would just have all this stuff. But yes, but I had to tell him, I want your time. Because when we first met, I had my own. I had my job. I was a career woman. I could buy myself things. So I wasn't looking for anybody to take care of me, because I was in a position to take care of myself. If somebody were to come along and to add to that, that's great. But no, that's not what I was looking for. Give me your time, and you have to come to the table with something. So the money doesn't matter, and I know there are a lot of women that make more money than men. It doesn't matter, but you can't. The women can't be here and you're here and not willing to come up. You got to be willing to progress. You cannot stay there. That's right. There's compromise. He may make a lot less than you, but whenever you are the further you go in your relationship, there should be something in him that says, okay, my wife is here. I got to do something. Whether if it's go back to a trade school, start my own business. You got to be willing to come up and meet her halfway. Now that right there, to me, if you come in like that, you can't stay that way, because that right there is going to cause some issues. It's going to make her feel like you're taking advantage of her and you want a free ride.
Yep.
Wow.
That's 100% right.
Wow. I mean, you couldn't have said it no better. You couldn't have said it no better. And I just hope that these men will review this and they'll listen. They'll take a look at themselves, whether they're in a relationship or whether they are aspiring to be in a relationship. You know, if they look on this broadcast and say, hey, you know, I may be interested in her. Well,
check your stuff first.
I'm just telling you, you're going to have to check it, because you cannot. It is sad that just because your last girlfriend, your last woman, your last marriage, you was dating a very narrow-minded woman, you didn't assume that they're all that way, and you're gonna find out that no, that was the one you was dating, that was the one you was married to. There's a whole different thing out here now, and you need to, if you want a good woman, all right. If this is to me, this is a great standard, and my daughters are on. This is a great standard. Hey, y'all, gentlemen, if this is what you want, you need to assess where you at.
That's right.
And then maybe, say jump in.
Oh, no, and I also wanted to say that when you're trying to be with a woman, don't undress her with your eyes. One thing that my bishop, and I love this man of God, is he used to say to me, he'd say, don't let someone be so quick to undress you when I draped you like a tabernacle. So if a man is going to, I need you to drape me with love, respect, you know, drape me with that. Don't be so quick to take off my clothes. You know.
Wow.
Building a foundation and a relationship and a communication is so much greater. Because at the end of the day, when you get to the end of the road, that's probably the only thing you'll have is communication.
What you say.
That's good.
And if I can talk to you, then there's no sense of me being with you, because I don't need furniture.
Okay.
Talk to your college. Boy, you look good today. Well, that brown look good on you. That leather fits you so nice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So let's. I want to go a little further. Can I go a little further?
Yes, sir.
So we talked about money. We know that money don't matter. We know that communication is a necessity. We know that your love for God is absolute. We need, you know. But here is a great question for you, because you're a pastor.
Yes, I am.
And you're an overseer. And you're an adjutant to your bishop.
Yes, I am.
How is that man going to approach you? How's that going to happen? Because see, you're a leader in the church. So how does that happen? And here's a curveball. And if he's in your church, how's he going to do that?
Well, he already know. Go ask my daddy. That's all. That's just hands down. But it's funny that you said that. And other women that are in the church like that, I would have to say, if a man comes to you and said, also, what's your bishop name? You're done. You're already done.
It's over.
Yeah, you don't that's like a spiritual father. You're not going to disrespect my daddy, my mama. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to disrespect the person that speaks over my life and that has been speaking over my children's life. That's what you're not going to do. You're not going to call him by his last name and just like, Oh, what, that Smith? Who? That's like cussing words. Oh, you want to fight? Oh, you you thought, you know,
preference, I will say Diana will fight. So
yes, I will.
Just want to, just in case some man is looking at you. She will throw hands. Try Jesus.
Try Jesus. Somebody's hands. You don't want nothing. No,
We can knuckle up.
I honestly believe that, and then one thing that I also notice is that men will try you and then try to be theologically, because you say you're a pastor. I didn't say that I was the best of anything. I just say God called me to do the assignment he called me to do. So I don't need you to challenge who I am. And I don't need you to tell me that now you my pastor and that we're doing too much. Allow me to be who God called me to be, and you need to just allow me to come alongside you. You know what I'm saying? And we ride the waves together. But when you start questioning, what has been placed on me, then that means maybe it's too much for you.
So does he have to be in ministry?
No. He doesn't have to be like and that's just me. I never need no pastor. I got one, I don't need a pastor. I don't need a bishop. I don't need any of that. I need a man of God that loves me. Period. I want to serve him, and I want him to serve me.
So again, I'm confused because here we go again. I have another woman who's saying, as a leader in the church, she's saying, I don't need a bishop. I don't need a pastor. I don't need a prophet.
Yeah, because when you get home, you're not going home to the pastor. You coming home to the person that you met. That's their assignment.
Right.
So I can understand that.
That's just for me. My husband and I were in ministry, and we did ministry day. And I do mean day. we were both adjutants, you know what I'm saying? That was in our previous church, and then when we got with Bishop Kafela, we were still there. And granted, it was the greatest love story of all. I love ministry. I love serving. I definitely would like someone that loves serving in ministry, because that's my heart. That's my passion. But, I would like to have a different conversation than, did you talk to Sister Dickie so-and-so? Was Dickie so-and-so? You know what I'm saying? I'll be like,
yeah.
I kind of want to pull back off of that. I do want a little break from that. So it wouldn't be like a huge big deal. If I don't mind serving ministry and then serving my husband. And I tell women all the time, if you do serve in ministry, you cannot serve your leader if you cannot serve your husband.
That's true. That's so true.
Wow.
If you can tiptoe for the bishop and the lady, then you should be able to tiptoe for your husband. And that's why I serve my children first. Even your children in ministry, if you're in ministry, serve your children first. Teach them. Because when they see you serving the leader, but you don't serve at home, then that's a problem. That's why I dated my son, my children, my daughters, and I loved on them. And so that was a big deal for me. I didn't want to do anything for another household that I didn't do for my own.
Wow. So again, here we go again. So another myth that's dismissed. Just because I'm in ministry don't mean you have to be.
They gotta be in church, love God, and they gotta go to. They need to.
Sure.
They need to be in it, but they don't have to be some high profile in ministry. They can be the elder in the church. Something, I just don't need all that hoo-ha. I don't need all that. Mm-hmm. It's not necessary for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I got some folks on the chat, y'all elders and y'all faculty members of the church, and what say ye? Do you need a prophet? Do you need a bishop? Do you need a pastor? How does that work? Because see, I know I wasn't looking for a first lady.
And I was not looking for a pastor.
You had to say it like that.
I'm just saying.
You had to say it like
I was not.
You had to say it like
but you see a lot of women, though, Bishop And lady, you see a lot of women when they go to the church, they want to be with the bishop, they want to be with the pastor,
Yes.
they want the, and I'm like, you're doing it for all the wrong reasons. That's why you're gonna get divorced real fast.
And those, to me, those are the ones that are not qualified to be married to them.
That's right. You and plus and a lot of these women, they want to be seen, they want the clothes, they want, and I'm not disrespecting it, that's like a gold digger to me.
Yeah, it's definitely the image. There's an infatuation with an image.
Right.
There's infatuation with a perception. So that's what they want. But they don't realize it's a whole nother side.
To that, yes.
It's a whole nother side. And most women who've gone in that way later regret.
Yeah. I actually had someone that I used to work with years ago, a few months ago, sent me a message saying, "Hey, do you know any pastor friends that are single?" Yes.
Boy, that was funny.
And what they don't understand, and I'll say this as someone that served men and women in ministry, is, and I think this is the reason why I did not want a pastor, because I'm not with all these women up in my husband's face. I'm like I'm like God. I'm jealous, and I'm be like, baby, did you need some help? What exactly can I help you? Because my husband went and got up at 2:00 in the morning talking about she called me to help, asked me to fix her water heater. I said, well, Bobby, let me help you. Let me call the water heater people and send somebody. You lay down.
Yeah.
I ain't fixing no doggone water heater. Doggone
2:00 in the morning. We're not fixing water heater at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Can the bishop pray for me? Yes, baby. We both on the line. So go ahead. And say, I'm gonna get in church a bad. It's gonna look bad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but that's why I know that even serving in ministry, when you serve men, there is such an essence about, if you have a woman that's serving a man of God, there's an essence and a respect for both. You know what I'm saying? And so,
yeah.
In any book that you read, it says if the woman does not like you, you cannot serve her husband.
That's good. Now that needs to be posted across the billboard. You hear me?
That you got it. Rewind. All right, say that one more time. They got to hear that.
If your wife does not like your adjutant or the person or your personal assistant in ministry, then you need to remove that. You see what I'm saying? And now it happened to me before, but what I did was I was so humble and so submitted that my previous Lady Edwards, love her to death. She understood, because she had other women that weren't right, but she gave me an opportunity.
So it had more to do with the other women.
And she said, don't do this, and don't do this. And I never did those things. And so I stayed in my lane respectfully. And she honored that. And at the end of my service with her, she says, I've been calling you a servant for years. She said, but today I call you friend.
Wow. So in ministry, so let's cross over. So in ministry, it is very important that whoever will serve, if it is the opposite sex, they must get the approval from the first lady.
Well, the husband would definitely want to do that, because, women sometimes can be catty.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Sometimes.
And so,
yeah.
And so, and those things are very important. And that woman would have to really, there is just a thin line, and you must submit, and I served both. I was Lady Edwards' personal assistant, and I was my bishop's adjutant back then. And wow. Bobby was the bishop's adjutant as well, but we both did dual. We served our leaders together.
Wow.
And so, I just think that those things are very, very important.
Wow.
You don't ever want to have no entanglements where someone is misunderstanding or anything like that. So,
wow, that's good.
And how you treat your leaders is how you yourself can be blessed.
So your motive is very important.
Your motive is very important.
Very important.
What is my motive to serve you? That's what's important. What is the motive to serve you? I come over to your house to clean your house, but why am I there? Is it because I don't want the lady? This is my blessing. Some people think that that's crazy. Why would you go over to your leader's house and clean their house? because it's like being in the army. You know, it's a privilege. These are the privileges you get because you want to give them a break. You want to be a blessing to them, you know, not to find out their business. And you're supposed to, my whole family would go serve. We go in, clean, and come out. You got 1 hour. You take this room, little Kiki go over here, Ashton clean out the refrigerator, Bobby hit the windows, I'm gonna do this, and in 1 hour we'd be out. No conversations, no nothing. We just want to bless you.
Wow. Wow. I mean, that's a different level of service and honor. And I don't even know how we got from Love Chronicles.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's just the adjective to me.
It was very good because it speaks to how a man, it's very easy if you serve your leader that way to then inherit a good relationship because of how you treat your man of God and his wife. And my desire is to see all my daughters and my sister to have someone who will love them like I love First Lady. I want it to be where all of you, even you, I want it so that you all will not always have to look afar and wonder. But I want it so that there's somebody that you can say who will love you and admire you like First Lady and I love one another. But you know, a lot of times I listen to these guys and I look at these guys and I be wondering, like, come on, y'all ain't. Where's your mind?
They're broken, Bishop. My honest opinion. These men are broken, and they've never dealt with their broken hearts. And when a woman tries to get inside of a man's heart that is broken, she's walking in his heart with bare feet. Mm-hmm. And she's getting cut up by his broken pieces until a man says out loud, I am broken. This hurt me. This happened to me. And then he has to, now maybe your father has passed away, or maybe someone did something to you and maybe you can't get that fixed. You have to forgive, let it go, and ask God to heal your heart. That's why having a man of God matters, because he has to allow God to mend his broken pieces. He has to get back on the potter's wheel and allow God to remold him. And if you know you're broken, stop getting in relationships when you know you're broken. Do me a favor. Stay at home. Go to church. Lay on the altar. Because if you're supposed to find me, I can't find you in pieces. And we don't make each other whole. You need to be whole when you get to me.
That's right.
Because when a man is broken, you're loving broken pieces. Like you don't know, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. You don't know which way to go. You don't know what part of him you're trying to touch. Oh, that part hurt. I'm sorry. Well, what about this piece? It makes it very difficult.
Is it too much? I heard you say that he had to be whole when he comes. And I tell you, sometimes
he doesn't have to be perfect.
So that's what I was alluding to. That's what I was going to allude to.
Does not have to be perfect.
Whole does not mean perfect.
No.
That means you have everything. But it does say, let me define wholeness. Wholeness is being fully aware of both your strengths and your weaknesses.
Yes.
All right. I want to be very clear on the contrast of whole and perfect.
Yes.
Whole means I'm aware. I'm aware of what I'm good at.
Yes.
I'm aware of what I'm bad at. I'm aware of what I can control. I'm also aware of what I am vulnerable to.
Perfect.
I am aware of who I am culturally. I am aware of who I am independently.
Yes.
I am aware of who I am spiritually. That is what wholeness is, ladies and gentlemen. That is what it is. It is knowing these things without compromise.
That's right.
It is knowing these things without the necessity of another woman coming along to make you feel like you have it. No, you're going to know you have it long before she gets there.
Yep.
And it comes out in the confidence of who you are. Because when you are genuinely confident, even if she tells you no, you don't retaliate.
Right.
That's true.
Because see, a lot of men, if she says no or she's not interested, or you, and then there's derogatory comments that follow.
Yes.
Well, that's because you can't handle rejection, which is a symbol you're not whole. Because when I'm whole, you reject me. My feeling is, well, that's your law.
Right.
That's your law. Because I know what I could offer. But too many times we're not there culturally. We're not there independently, meaning I'm good with what I do. Job, career, business, whatever it is, I'm good there. I'm good spiritually. I'm locked into my church. I'm locked in. I don't have to be the pastor, the bishop, the pope, but I am a faithful member of my church.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm good there. And again, it is not the perfection. It is not the deception that I'm going to do everything right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I am going to do right by you.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
That is the difference. And I think what we need to do is everybody, both male and female, we need to rewind and we need to ask ourselves, am I good culturally? Meaning I know how to interact in the world. I'm confident in who I am. I'm good. Am I good independently? My bank accounts are good. I'm not working from insufficient funds. I have a credit card in my own name. I'm not the signer on. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm not the signer on somebody else's card. I have my own card.
Yes.
And they're not all maxed out.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this was gonna be tricky. I have a job more than a year.
I would say more than that.
I'm being nice.
Well, I mean,
Because if you are across 40 years old and you have not at least had your job for at least 24 months consecutively with benefits, don't you part your lips talking about you want a woman. Don't do it. Because I get what y'all was saying. Because you got a career, you got a business, you're been working since you were 18 years old. You
try 15.
I'm
if
sorry,
I've been working that long. You need to
That's
have
me too. I've been working since I was 15 too.
15. You
yes.
see? So, and you mean tell me he come along talking about well, I'm looking for a job. You looking. What do you mean you looking? What do you mean?
Or they tell you that you caught me in my downtime.
Whatever that is.
Well, I'll holler at you when it's good. How about that? I'll holler at you when it's good.
But women don't do that. They're like, okay. They'll say, well, let me help you.
That's a problem. That is a problem. And those are the
so but wait. Is it no. I just want to jump in right there. Is it so bad that you want to help? You want to help them, all right? Is it really bad that you want to help them? Is it really bad? Is it bad?
If you just want to help, it's not bad that you want to help them, but I believe a lot of men are the way they are because we try to come in and save them and be their mama and everything else.
Okay.
Would you agree with that?
My husband, I did help him. I'm an entrepreneur by trade, but I was born into entrepreneurship. And so that's just me. I can make a business out of anything. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, you're a mechanic? I got you. I'm going to do a jack of all trades. And I done made up everything, got him business cards and all that kind of stuff. He is not motivated.
There you go.
The job, then I just wasted all my time.
Yes.
Motivation. That's
why I made that.
That's why I wanted to stop and say, wait a minute. So is it okay that you help him? But at some point, you gotta, he gotta take responsibility. Yeah, he got, because you can help him. See, I'm trying to help y'all to be, be practical, because we say certain things and it comes off brash or as if, no, you can't do that. See, if you're a gifted woman, right? Dana, you're a gifted woman. So you most naturally in almost any relationship, you're gonna come in and there's gonna be this thing where you're gonna say, oh, I can help you with that. Because that's just how you are.
That is how I am.
But he ain't gonna do this. And just rock back and just do nothing. That's what he's not gonna do.
That's what he's not.
When you come with your assistance, he got to come with his motivation.
Yep.
Your assistance, his motivation.
Yeah, it has to already be
Okay.
there. The level of it has to already be there. It should not come when at the moment that you said, okay, let's do this. It should already be there. And whenever you come, that should fuel him even more. Right.
That should be like gasoline on fire. Like boom, it should make him like, wow. And it should make him love you more.
Right.
Because he will see, wow, she's adding to me in an area of deficiency. I'm going to jump in because I want her to know, listen, I appreciate what you just did for me. I appreciate it. And he now takes that motivation with your assistance and y'all take off. That makes for a healthy relationship. But too many times I see the direct opposite.
It's one-sided. Yeah.
It's very one-sided. And
I have a question from Lady Smith. When you're talking to a man and I don't know how to say it. Well, because you're married to Bishop, do you ever get to a place, so where you say we agree to disagree?
Yes.
Okay. And but in your conversation and in your marriage, have you ever found is that he was speaking Lysol and you was speaking, apples? Like where the conversation, because I've been in a situation where the conversation is so off, and I'm like, is it me? Or this person, is you crazy? Like, and I don't know, because not being in a relationship, it's like, and normally everyone else that I'm talking to, we have a common conversation. It's like, oh, I don't agree with that. Okay, cool. But when it's just like totally off.
So I can say that there have been times where we've said we agree to disagree, but it has not. It's not like conversations to the far left. He's going this way and I'm going that way. We've never had that. Would you agree? I mean, not to that degree, I don't think.
No, there've been times when
you think so?
See, I'm not afraid to admit that I'm wrong. Okay.
But
hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Because there was a time when I was starchly wrong. But I was only wrong because I was leading with my ambition and not with my wisdom. I was trying to fulfill a level of sincerity that I didn't have maturity to back it up. So there was a time when in my early pastoring, because I always felt like, the pastor had to be there, and so not realizing, because I was gullible. Sometime I was gullible, and then there were times when I just felt like, well, she don't understand, so I'm just going to do whatever I want. Not realizing that both roads was a setup to catastrophe. Okay. So I've run out because these single women, and I need, if there's men listening, I need you to listen to me. So these single women would create these scenarios. And the reason why I'm saying they're created, because there's an instance that I really found out the whole thing was nothing more than a bait. The entire situation was a bait. But because I felt like as a pastor, I wanted to be this pastor. So she contacts me. I'm on the phone. I'm steady talking. First lady steady trying to tell me, no, this is what she's trying to do. And I'm saying, no, see, that's you don't know.
I remember that.
That was my you don't know. Because at that point it was like you are coming into being a first lady. So you don't know. I have been in ministry. So I know. Right? So on the phone, had this long conversation, trying to talk to her, I'm ministering to her, And this is before the cell phone plans. Remember, this is before the cell phone plans was unlimited. This is before unlimited. This is when you had a limitation on your minutes. Okay. So I'm just I call myself helping, right? And I remember getting my bill. I got my bill after everything I told this girl to do. She went right out there and did whatever she wanted. Because I later found out the reason why was because along with this long conversation was supposed to be a visitation. But I didn't. And First Lady and I got into it. So I was angry. So then I had all this anger and I felt like I'm going to administrate this anger by nosediving into pastoring these women. Only to discover that all the stuff that they was doing was a setup. It was a setup. They wanted the marriage to fail. They wanted me to be angry with her. They wanted us to be divided. They wanted us to see things different, and they wanted to wedge in between, and all kinds of stuff.
And I knew that, and all while that was going on, I mean, to me, it wasn't that far left, but I knew what I had to do because there was no way that I was able to get to him.
Because I felt like that was pastoring. I felt like, I gotta call when they call. I gotta be there
every time, every single time.
At 10 o'clock, it bling, hello, and I gotta talk to them. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. 4.
I mean, not so that late, but
I'm just joking. But they were calling late, and I would take the call because I felt like I had to take it until I got that bill. When I got that bill, overseer, the bill. Trying to remember, the bill was $400 and some.
Oh,
yeah, my bill, not our bill. My bill.
This cat over here.
Exactly.
Then when I saw that bill, I instantaneously got delivered. Like it was like a supernatural divine unction just came over me. And it was at that very moment that I realized that stupid had been lifted from me. Hata. I mean, dumbness had lifted. Hosha. And anger had a different administration.
Look at God. My
vision, where it was cloudy, like the clouds lifted and the angels started singing. And I mean, it was just a moment. And I remember being in the apartment because we were living in the apartment, and I saw that bill, and I'm telling you, I spent the whole day, the entire day. I mean, I was cursing my own self out. I mean, just giving myself the business. Because I realized I did all of this and there was no fruit from none of it.
Wow.
I pulled, and First Lady will tell you, I pulled the bill. This is when we used to still get the paper bill. I looked at the bill and my wife was sitting in the chair. I'm going through the itemized bill. I said, can you believe, remember? Can you believe I've been on the phone with this girl for
He didn't listen.
then I looked at the number of days. And I think this was some of these dudes need to go back and you need to pull the ledger from your bill. Because if you are as prophetic as you think you are, if you are as influential as you think you are, you may want to go back and look at that itemized bill. Because if you've got weeks upon weeks upon weeks of talking to the same person over and over and over again, and they not listening, you ain't as effective as you think you are.
That's right.
That's what happened. I looked at that bill. That bill was $400 and some, and I'm telling you right now, I went through all the lists of all the people I was talking to, and I looked back at their lives, and not a one of them, was abiding by anything that I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
But they got what they wanted, although you didn't see it. So
Right.
they went to their next victim.
And it was a lesson. And it was at that point I said, I will never, remember, I said, I'll never pay enough phone bill like this. I'll never pay enough phone bill like this. This ain't gonna happen no more. This ain't gonna happen no more. And from that day, I meant that. And then I got real mature and I said, at 8 o'clock, Bishop is offline. There will be no phone calls after 8 o'clock. There's no phone call. There is no phone calls after 8 o'clock. No phone calls. As a matter of fact, some folks stopped getting my number.
Right.
No, it's not going to be any of that. Because the other part that I had to learn, if she ain't going to respect this relationship,
Right.
how are you expecting to have one?
Right.
You can only have what you respect in others.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
They don't respect it. Because that's my bishop. I need to talk to him. That's my spiritual father. Okay, all right. Well, let me tell you something. You call me at 8:15. See if I answer the phone. You go on the voicemail. It would have to be a serious emergency, male or female. I don't care what the situation is. You're gonna have to have a serious emergency when you pick up that phone. So I'm not picking up the phone. I made it very clear. Even when the Bridge Network and all that, I made it very clear. My relationship with my wife and my family is vital to me. I'm not going to be that person. I'm not going to be that person. I can't. And so in how do you manage that, Donna? Because you're single. So what is the right and wrong about that?
Well, for me, I don't talk to anybody. Even the men that I do talk to, like I have sisters in Christ, and I'll talk with their husband, but I'll be on speaker. I'm always like, oh, put me on speaker, and I'll talk like that. That's always
good.
my motto.
That's good because that keeps us safe.
Yeah, I'm always safe. I'm always on speaker, and any woman that I know and I talk to her husband or whatever, I have and I'm not bragging. I don't mean to be braggadocious, but I have an excellent track record in how I handle men and their wives in ministry and out of ministry. That's just me because I value my relationships with others in ministry because I'm known to be above reproach when it comes to that. So I think that that's very important.
So again, there's a right and wrong way, in how we doing that. And that was a time when early on, I just my ambition, I was ambitious. I was also angry, and I went about things doing it a certain way that I realized that I shouldn't have. And I pray that those who are looking to be in a relationship be mindful of their mate. Be mindful of the person that you're dating. Be mindful. Just be mindful. Ask. Like I said, I listen now. When my wife says certain things, I listen. I listen. Because I will also say on this national platform, my wife was more right than she was wrong.
That's a beautiful thing to say. What I was also looking at is that a lot of, as a single woman, when we find ourselves talking to a man and we're constantly clashing in what we believe or what we think, someone has told me, you're quick to give up. No, I'm not quick to keep running into the same wall. I'm good. So if I'm constantly, we can't seem to agree constantly, and it seems like there's always a competition in the conversation, then there's no competition with me. You want to win, you got it. But if it doesn't make sense, then I can't agree to things that don't make sense.
So, all right. So you said something there. You talked about giving up. And you said, it's not that I'm not giving up, but I'm just not going to keep running into that wall.
Right.
So
is that giving up? Is that bad? I mean, because I have been told that I'm not compromising, but I don't compromise with stupidity. That just don't make sense to me. I mean, it's like you don't see that's red. Baby. Oh, you see orange. If you said burgundy, if you said maroon, you know what I'm saying? We're leasing about. And then for a man to say we're saying the same thing. Well, it makes me feel like
I've heard that.
I've
heard that. Yeah.
Because I don't get it. And so and I think that women, what we will do as being single, will say, oh, okay. No, I'm not going to do that. It's not, oh, okay. Because then you're going to say, oh, okay, about a whole bunch of stuff. And then you're going to say, how did I get here? And what is this place I call here?
Yeah. That's good. That's true.
So that seed that you sow will certainly become a large tree of problem if they don't deal with that early. Mm-hmm. Wow. Right. So, wow.
And you can't be afraid that you're not going to be in I put in a whole year. Oh, well, do you want to put in 5?
Yeah.
And then you're laying across your bed saying, how did I get here? You're trapped in pain. Yeah. Longevity breeds familiarity. Mm. And so I'm okay with being by myself till I get to the grave. But what I will not do is be with someone so that I can just have someone.
There you go.
It's not that serious. Yeah. Do what I love to be in love? Yes. Would I love someone to kiss me goodnight? Yes. Would I love to go to the movies? And am I tired of taking myself out to dinner? Yes. But not at the cost of longevity, breeding familiarity. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, here he comes. Golly. I thought he was asleep.
I wanna make a confession here. This is long before First Lady got in my life, even before my first wife. I discovered something about myself in my early 20s. And I pray that this helps somebody. Because you said something, you said something that triggered it in my mind. I found out that in my early years, because I love R&B, I love singing to girls and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize until a little ways along, I was actually in love with being in love.
Yes.
I was in love with the feeling.
Mhm.
So even though the girls I was dating, I knew I wasn't getting back what I was putting out. I knew it, but I loved the stuff I was doing. So now I'm gonna help y'all understand what I'm trying to say. So there were times when, and it even happened in our relationship when you said, I was buying you all this stuff, and
Mhm.
well, here's what happened. See, I was so in love with love, so it wasn't enough for me to go buy you stuff because I was in love with wanting to do the stuff, even if I knew that that's not what you wanted. I did it anyway
Mhm.
because in some cases it wasn't so much about making you happy; it was more about making me happy.
Mhm.
And I know it sounds crazy, but I in the table talk with Jada and Will openly admitted he threw a party for Jada.
Yeah, that wasn't for her.
It wasn't even about her. It wasn't about her. It was about the all of what went into it that made him feel good.
Mm.
And I could relate because I remember buying teddy bears, buying flowers, doing all this stuff because I was in love with being in love. I was in love with all of the things that came along with it. So then when you came along, it was easy for me to go out there and buy Louis Vuitton bags and all that stuff because I loved to be able to do it. But it wasn't because of you. It's because I love to do it. It had more to do with me. So even though you would say several times, well, you don't have to do this. Well, that was over my head because in my mind, I kept doing it because, yeah, I wanted to be able to say, yeah, I bought this. I did this.
But at the same time, I understand that. But at the same time, with me telling you that I want your time because it's being spent, i.e., doing some of the things that he was doing before.
And that wasn't because my motive was so in another world.
Yes.
See, the time thing was like, time.
So he's giving because he's in love with being in love, but I'm not getting the time that I want. I could buy for myself. I just wanted the time.
So see how if you can have all, you could do all the stuff, but there's a motive that has to be addressed. And you could be buying stuff, and there's some women who would love that. They would love it because in their end, they like, well, shoot, look at what I'm benefiting from. But
Right.
what they don't realize is, but the man that they really want, they ain't never gonna get because underlying, he's doing something totally different because he's satisfying his own ego. He dealing with the thing in him. So it wasn't until you really like sat me down after I spent all that money.
So I don't think it would not have been that bad if some of the other things weren't going on, with spending, with the calling, the ladies and trying to help everybody else with their problems. So I'm getting stuff, but I'm not getting what I really need, and they're getting their needs met, and they're not here in the house with you. So I think it would have been different, if it wasn't, if it didn't go down that way.
Well, I blew it.
But you fixed it, though. You fixed
I
it.
blew it.
You fixed it.
I had a stack of Louis Vuitton bags and a phone bill that was just as high. It's ridiculous. It was just ridiculous. But that whole infatuation with love is a lot of people are addicted to it, but they're not building love at all.
Nope.
They're not building love at all. They're not building love at all. All they're doing is building the superficial to make it look like. And I know a lot of people who are seriously infatuated with an appearance.
Yes.
That it looks like. And I had to tell somebody, let me help you. It don't make no bit of sense. If you got a Mercedes Benz sitting in a garage. And you talking about, hey, you right, man, look at this Benz. Look
you
at this.
can't put gas.
And there ain't no engine in it. You cannot move it nowhere.
Yeah.
But that thing looks so good in the garage. And
In the garage.
And you about, look at the seats. Look, rub your seats. Rub them seats. Look at it. Look at the interior. Look at the dash. Look at everything. And then the person says, man, let's go for a ride. And you say, oh, no, we can't go nowhere. No, we can't go nowhere. It don't have no engine. What? What do you mean? What do you mean no engine? You mean tell me you brought me over here to look at this and we can't go nowhere? But there are people superficially in relationships that it looks good.
Yes.
I mean, woo! Like she got diamonds, she got furs, she got Prada, she got Fendi, she got MCM, she got Balenciaga, she just got it. But is just as unhappy as she can be because the one thing that she really wants, or the one thing that he really wants, you ain't getting that. You're not getting that. And now I'm being kind of surface, because I tell you right now, if I cross over and say, and let's talk about the intimacy part, you ain't never. I said this before, I'm going to say it again. If the only reason why she's smiling is because the camera is on, there's a whole lot wrong with your relationship.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot wrong. Because if she smiles more for that camera than she do for you, you need to check yourself.
Right.
You check that. You check that. Don't selfie and smile. And then you grit your teeth the entire time that we together. You're just so dissatisfied.
It takes too much time to pretend.
Yeah.
I would rather put my time and energy into fixing and investing in what I have than trying to pretend.
Yeah.
It takes so much more energy to do that.
And a lot of us single women, you'll get with a man you'll be like, oh, he's so fine. Oh, he's so fine. And they worth 2 cents. That's that Bentley. And I've said that to someone, we look like a Bentley, but we're not going nowhere. And then they like, oh, it's just like, and then you looking at the man like, you can't do no much better. You know, then you get your tool belt out, put it on, then you're going to fix a man. No, this is no fix a flat. We can't. But as single women, we do that. We get our tool belt out and we start trying to fix some stuff. And then we be saying things, hoping that it's right. And then he'll say something good for like a whole 2 days. And you be like, oh, maybe there's some hope. No, baby. That little voice that was in the back of your head said, love is letting go. Let it go. If this minute it'll come back. I just don't let people come back. I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
But if I let you go, then I'm good.
That's it. Huh?
That's it. I mean, I've never dated someone twice, ever in my life. I've never done that because I'm going to do everything I can.
But is it wrong? Is it wrong?
It's wrong for me. I'm not doing it because if I left you, it was for a reason. And I'm going to do everything I can to stay with you. And if I can't stay with you, love is letting go. I am friends with my ex-husband, my first husband. I got married at 19. I can call him right now. Matter of fact, I went over to their house because his father had cancer. I ate over there. I kikied with his wife, talked to his father, gave him kisses and hugs, prayed for him, all that, told them bye. That's the kind of relationship I had. Best friends with my ex-husband that passed away, or husband that passed away. I'm not messy. But if it's not right for me, I don't believe in being unhappy. I don't think that we as women should be so desperate for a man that we'll be unhappy knowing that we're going in bed dissatisfied. Because I don't care whether you're having sex or not, it's not going to satisfy that thing in you.
Wow.
15 minutes or an hour, like you said, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour romance is not going to help me. And then I'm irritated all the other time. That's not working.
Wow.
We're better than that. You have to look in the mirror and say, I'm better than this. And you're doing that man a disservice.
Wow. You know what?
Okay.
I hope that it helped. Listen, if you're in the chat, because we're coming to a close, we got 3 minutes left. Um, you know, if this has helped you, if this has ministered to you in any kind of way, um, let us know. Give me some hearts, give me some thumbs up. If y'all appreciate Overseer Diana Brandon being on tonight, show us some love. Show us some love. Show us some love. I want her to know that her sharing tonight has really been good. She said a lot of stuff. She talked from a single woman's perspective. Now, if there's a single woman out there and you want to just share something in this last couple of minutes, we certainly want to open that up and have you to say something. First Lady, what say ye to all of this?
I think it was a very, very good show tonight. I think Overseer Diana expressed some very good points that should be very helpful to anyone aspiring to be in a relationship and aspiring to be married, because I think a lot of women now are in such a hurry to be with someone and they're just settling and they're doing themselves a disservice. And I agree with what she said. They're also doing the male a disservice as well. So I believe one of the things that stuck out with me is she said, once you know who you are, then you just stop tolerating just anything and letting anybody come into your life and basically treat you any kind of way. So I think that's key, because a lot of women aren't satisfied with who they are. They don't know, they haven't developed their identity yet. And I think once you do that, then you certainly look at relationship different, and you certainly step back and do a reevaluation of yourself and say, hey, like she said, I'm better than that. I don't have to put up with this. I know there's better for me. This may be somewhat working, but I know that there's another guy, there's another man out there that's better for me, that's going to work with me, that we can walk parallel, that we can walk in the same direction together, where he's not taking advantage of me or where she's not taking advantage of him. And you all are beneficial, to each other and walking together in unity. Although everybody has their things in relationship, there's no perfect relationship, but you just want to find somebody that's going to be in it with you, that's going to be genuine, that's going to be sincere, that's going to be, I wouldn't say a father, but I look at you. My father was a wonderful provider, and he made sure that, we were always taken care of and that we didn't lack for anything. And I know things, the times now are certainly different, but you want somebody that's going to, that's going to respect you, and you can look at them in their eyes and just by the look that you are the apple of their eye, that you have their attention, and that their focus is not divided. And that they can love you and take care of you and provide. Not saying that you can't do it by yourself, but it's better when you have somebody that's working with you and Absolutely. That you can do it together. Absolutely. And one person is not just pulling the load. Absolutely. Or just riding along.
Absolutely. I love the fact that you're with me to do this. I love it. And there are times when, and I made this clear, I've said this in my church. If my church ever makes me choose, if my Reformation ever makes me choose between them or you, I told them, y'all ain't gonna have no bishop. You're gonna have no bishop, because I'm gonna leave. I'm going to leave.
So I like the fact that we've grown over the years. You mentioned, in the beginning how, you were trying to rush out and save everybody else, but I cherish those moments now. And it caused me to grow spiritually, because I know that there are some women, because it went on for a while, that would have just walked out. It would have been a non-negotiable, but I thank God that he gave me the grace to endure. And I prayed a lot about it. I was on my knees a lot, but I'm just grateful that God graced me to be able to deal with it, because everybody can't.
No.
And not saying that my stuff was perfect. I had my own individual stuff that I was dealing with on top of that. And my needs that weren't being met time wise. So everybody can't deal with that. But I'm truly grateful for, everything that we've experienced over these almost 20 years now. It's definitely caused me
Almost
to
20 years.
definitely caused me to grow. And I'm proud of where we are because we've been through a lot. And
Yeah.
like I said, I will never say I'm not perfect. He just makes it look like that I just do everything so right. And we're supposed to cover our mates.
Yeah.
Nobody outside of your home should know when things are going, when things are going wrong. Nobody should. You can say whatever behind the closed doors, but it shouldn't be in the public,
Right.
when the two of you are at odds. But I'm just grateful to be on this journey with you, and I'm grateful to see where God has brought us from. And
Yeah.
I know it's just gonna be even more phenomenal from here.
It's gonna be because I stopped talking on the phone a lot.
Yes, you have. And one thing I do like, I have to say this, he has allowed me to be myself where I've seen other
Yeah.
people in
Yeah.
marriage would try and force things on their spouses that weren't pastors and that weren't elders. He's never tried to do that with me. I think in the beginning it was more so I was putting pressure on myself, looking at outside relationships with pastors and first ladies, that I felt like I had to live up to these expectations. But he's never put that on me. And anybody, I would say, that's in ministry, that you're looking for somebody. If you're a pastor, if you're going to date somebody,
Date them for who they
date
are.
them for who they are. Don't put any undue pressure on them. If they're not the person that you're looking for, leave them alone. Don't waste their time.
Don't
Because
try to
you're
make
doing
them the
yourself a
first
disservice,
lady.
and you're breaking up the other person that you're trying to put the undue pressure on.
And don't she don't have to become an elder. She don't have to become the prophetess.
Yep.
I've seen people like, oh, this, the prophetess Savannah. Like, ho.
Yeah.
She is the first lady of our church. I'm not trying to put no more on her than the speed that she's moving. Those offices are still a divine call from God. They are not assumed just because you become my wife.
Right.
And that's another fault of things that take place. No. That's not how it happens. No. I'm not making her the prophetess. She ain't, elder so-and-so. And I told her, she said she had the call. I said, all right, well, you're going to go through the process just like everybody else. You don't get no fast forward. I seen the wife, one year minister, 6 months later, elder. Next before the end of the 2 years, you pastor. But you've never earned it. You never walked it out. You all of it is just an assumed position because you're my wife. No, we can't do that. So ain't nobody saying nothing. I do want to certainly acknowledge your bishop. He certainly was on, and he said, "Good job representing tonight. The kingdom was advanced." So he's pleased with his daughter. You have made your father happy. Look. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
long as my father's happy, and that's the way a daughter should be. And I appreciate the value of who you are as a woman of God. You have always been a daughter to him. Always wanted to make sure that you were good in his sight, and that just speaks well of you. And I celebrate that upon your life, and appreciate that in you. And because he and I are brothers, there's a lot that what he does not cover, I cover. This is safety for you. And I wanted you to come. I didn't even push you hard. I was kind. I didn't want to push you too hard. But I am going to do another one, and I'm going to invite some other women. I'm going to do another one of these. I have another woman of God that I'm going to bring on, and then I'm going to pull all of y'all together, and I'm going to disappear. I ain't going to be on at all, and I'm just going to let y'all talk. I'm going to let you talk.
I'm honored. Bishop, I just want to say it, and Lady Smith, I'm so honored. I have loved you all. I was honored when I had the opportunity to serve Lady Smith in California, and she's so easy. She's like, you don't have to do that, and I'm like, yes, I do. You know, which made me really want to do it. I'm like you. I wanted to do more for her. You know, and so I am honored that you gave me this opportunity. Truly humbled, and thank you so very much. And you both are beautiful. I love watching y'all on Facebook. I'll be like, he'd be cracking me up. He'd be all up on the woman. And I'll be laughing. And I mean, like you are a beauty and a picture of health, regardless of whether you argue or not or whatever. But just to see you even doing this, and everybody's not doing this, so it's beautiful to see. And it gives other people hope, you know, that it's okay to be in love. And if you're in ministry, it's okay to love your wife. It's okay to love your husband. It's okay to be, you know, to do all that. That's a beautiful thing. And so, and then for you to say, I'm not apologizing for loving my wife,
No,
you
I'm
know,
not.
and that does put her first. And it's so beautiful. And I'm eternally grateful. And thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being with us on tonight. I do want to say to my brother, I something came back to my mind when we were there for convocation, and I sometimes I at times completely get lost in moments when you're around, because I do have a real deep love for you. I really do. And I've learned more as time has gone on. And I've appreciated you more as time has gone on. And I say to you when nobody's around, like you just as pretty as you want to be. You just as gorgeous as you want to be.
You tell me that all the time.
All the time. And it ain't no cameras on. So it ain't, you know, it has nothing to do with what the world says. It's what I know. But I was with my brother for his convocation, and we had just had an, explosive moment in God. But my wife was there. So see, when the assignment is over, I'm back to being Tyrone. So when the session was over, I went and sat down with my wife, and we was in California.
He was rubbing my legs.
So I'm thinking we in California, playing out this day, you know, I checked out.
Totally out.
I checked completely out. And I'm just like, baby, what we gonna do? And so,
and I'm thinking to myself, what is he doing? I mean, he was just stroking my leg over there.
So my brother was talking, and I heard him say, I'm mad that Bishop Smith didn't check completely out. He over there with his wife, like they on an exclusive date. They ain't even paying us no mind. And it didn't even dawn on me that I'm still in the room with all the saints. Because I'm thinking, I'm over here with my girl. I'm great. We great. We go out and spend some time together. Bishop, I just want you to know I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't help myself. I checked out of the meeting, and then I tried to come back. I tried to come back and, you know, try to fix it. But I was thinking to myself, whoops, I completely forgot. I completely forgot. So I want you to know, Bishop, I'm going to try to be more cognizant when we together. So I won't have my wife with me. I'll make sure either like I'll have her escorted out. So just in case, forget, don't have that to happen no more. Praise the Lord. All right. So listen, overseer, where now they don't know. Now this is the other problem with the possibility of anybody that's watching that may be interested in her. Overseer, what part of the State of the Union are you in?
In the Atlanta, area, just traveling right now, doing some things.
You're traveling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if by chance there's somebody aspiring. There's a lot more to this than yeah. So if you wanna, you better know you call. Praise God, because there's a whole lot. That's a corporate woman. There's a whole lot that comes along with that. So don't. Thank you, Jesus. All right, we done. I ain't gonna say no more. All right, Osier, you have been a jewel. I appreciate you. I want you to have a phenomenal rest of your evening. We got some work to do.
Yes.
Got some work to do. I want you to take this last minute. Talk to them about the die experience.
Well, I can't really, but it's well, I did in the beginning.
So we ain't gonna say that.
I did in the very beginning when I just said that,
Okay.
My goal is to help other women as well as men, even young teenagers, is that I know what it feels like to have low self-confidence. And that's when I said that I had confidence issues until I was 42 years old. And at 42 is when I realized that my fingerprint belonged to me. And so I go all over the world talking about my fingerprint, saying that your fingerprint belongs to you. And when you do not maximize your potential, and when you don't be the very best that you can be, the world misses out on the gift called you. And so we have to stop scuba diving for the reflection of a treasure box and know who we are. Because you get down at the bottom of that ocean thinking that you saw something or that something is for you, and you lose air. And it's hard to get back from something like that.
Wow.
And so I myself, my brand is the Die Experience, because I am an experience, and anyone that I connect with, whether it's a sister, whether it's a brother, whether it's whomever, is that I want to make sure that there's an authenticity there, that I'm being a jewel in someone else's life. And so those things are important to me.
Wow. So if they wanted to, get in touch with you about the Die Experience, is because you coach and you uplift and you do a lot to really just push people to their potential. How do they get in touch with you?
I have they can do it my email or my phone number, either one. So if someone wants that information, then definitely you'll have that, and then you can give that to them.
All right. Okay. Excellent. That'll be good. If they want it, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So, but what
I do know is that when you give somebody something freely, they take advantage of it. But when they try to get it on purpose, it has more meaning.
Indeed. Yes. I receive that. So we're gonna wait and see if it's purpose. If it's purpose, we'll move to that stage. If not, then go away. Thank you, Jesus. So I'm being honest. They be pushing. They talking about they want the Die Experience. They be talking about something else. So Osier, I want you to enjoy the rest of the evening. To all that was on tonight, thank you for being with us on tonight. It's been great. This has been Love Chronicles with Bishop and Lady Smith, and with our special guest on tonight. This was Overseer Diana Brandon, and she was just a blessing to us on tonight. She was a blessing, and she was authentic. It wasn't, it was what it is. It wasn't trying to, talk too high that they couldn't understand, but right where people can really receive it. So it was good. So listen, we're gonna be back here next Wednesday. We're gonna be right back here to be with you all for our two-way talk. We're going to stay right here on Love Chronicles, and we pray that it be a blessing to you. If you do not have a church, we'd love for you to be with us on Sunday morning for the Love Center Experience. It's at 10 a.m., and we get a chance to minister to you. My wife spoke last Sunday and really blessed the saints, and so we were grateful to God that she had an opportunity to do that. I might just have her preach again. She just don't know. So I want you all to tune in. Be right back with us again. If you're not in a church, or even if you are, you can watch the broadcast, or even after you come from your church, we'd love to have you. Again, it's 10 a.m. right here on Facebook Live. We would love to have you. So listen, we're going to leave for tonight. It's been wonderful. Want everybody to still be safe. COVID-19 is still out there. Need everybody to be safe. First Lady, last word.
Thank you all for tuning in with us tonight. We pray that something was said to cause you to think and maybe do a self-analysis of your relationship if you're in one, or a prospective relationship. So it is our desire that we can say something that can be life-changing for those that are viewing the broadcast. And again, we thank you for allowing us into your home on Wednesday nights, and we look forward to being with you again next Wednesday. And we would love to have you join us on Sunday if you're not a member of a church. And that's it.
Mm-hmm. All right, everybody be great. We look forward to seeing y'all real soon. All right, y'all take care.